you are all the next generation, yeah? The next generation, including the next leader for us, yeah. Okay, everybody, I look here the number of participants, yeah, in this activity from certain countries. Yeah. I think this is a very good gathering activity because we have a student from Myanmar, yeah, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, yeah, Aljazair, Pakistan, Kamboja, Bhutan, Iran, Singapore, Sudan, and Indonesia, of course. So certain country that we are together here, and then we will speak up about the future of ASEAN Student Forum. And I would like to say that this forum is very essential, especially to build a shared vision of student. So what is our vision? Speak up from the student, yeah, not only from the lecturer or the old generation. Yeah. What is the student think about the future in the field of education in ASEAN? Open up. We also would like to open communication channel, yeah, between student across campus in ASEAN and also university partner from outside ASEAN. So I hope that this event will be gathered, yeah, annually. So this is not the first event that you want to have, yeah. I hope that the future we will have the same forum and involving bigger participants from students, yeah, across science, knowledge, yeah, discipline, and also across countries, yeah. Everybody, and then everyone, every side who already support this activity, I would like to thank, and I cannot say why Banwan, yeah, but the most important thing, our partner, yeah, that in this case is from Tarlac Agricultural University. They already support this activity, and maybe also CMEO, maybe they also involved with us with this activity because they are usually long together with us, yeah, for the student activity or international forum. Okay, everybody, every student, we would like to welcome for this event, and then also we would like to open up our university to the all students across the world, especially if you want to do joint activity with us, yeah. For example, exchange students, yeah. Even though we cannot do it by luring, yeah, maybe we can do it by daring. But before COVID-19, we usually have student exchange by luring. And everybody in the situation of COVID-19, this is a very critical situation, but I'm very happy because with the online system by daring, we still have chance to talk, to share our opinion, our vision for the future of our world, yeah. So everybody, welcome to this event, and then have a good time, and please speak up, yeah, for your future, and then also for our future in the world, yeah. Thank you, moderator. I would like to give it back, yeah, to the moderator. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oh ya, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Bapak Andi Wijaya, for officially opening today's session. Now, we're going to listen to the Director of the Office of External Linkage and International Affairs of Tarlac Agricultural Universities of Philippines. To Dr. Kristen and Farah, the time and place is all yours.
Ms. Prawita, to the leadership, faculty, and students of Tarlac Agricultural University and Universitas Brawijaya, the members of the organizing committee and guests from Southeast Asia and the rest of the world, please allow me to welcome you all to the ASEAN Youth Forum, the last part of the International Visiting Scholar 2022 program between TAU and UB. I am a teacher by profession, and I know the significance of educating the youth to societal transformation, national development, and international integration by heart. During the planning session for IVC, I contemplated how to engage you, the youth, in such a crucial time that requires the participation of all stakeholders of the international community. The contemporary issues confronting us are not something that we can solve using one-size-fits-all strategy. The youth's dynamism and enthusiasm are keys to understanding global issues such as healthcare, poverty, human rights, and inequalities. The future does not belong to our generation anymore. It is yours to build and live. No one will be left behind. This is the most important cornerstone of the 2030 Agenda, as it guarantees that the sustainable development goals are meant for all nations, all ages, and all societies. The universality of the 2030 Agenda ensures that the youth will not just be sidelined. Moreover, young people are recognized as agents of change, entrusted to carry out a task we may have failed to accomplish. Today, we are acknowledging this truth by empowering you and making your voices heard. We recognize the innate power that you hold. Help us ignite that fire inside you. Remember that nobody is too young to make a difference. Such stereotyping is a thing of the past, a relic we in the academe must not bring to the fore. I would also like to express my gratitude to our counterparts from the Universitas Brawijaya's Faculty of Administrative Sciences for collaborating with us and helping us make this a reality. TAU believes that initiatives such as this will propel a prosperous, peaceful, and united community of nations on our side of the world. Also, special thanks to the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization Secretariat for their support and generosity. And I've also seen many of our international and local partners attending this event today. Notwithstanding the challenges and mounting vulnerabilities at hand, you, the youth, certainly can lay the groundwork for a more sustainable future for the Philippines, Indonesia, and the whole of Southeast Asia. Again, maraming salamat, terima kasih, thank you, and Godspeed everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Kristen and Farah, for the opening speech. Right now, we'll hold a further session, so to both deans as well as participants, all are welcome to take a position. And please, for those who hasn't turned on their camera, please turn it on. Thank you. Okay, so a little bird just told me that there are more than 10 countries that join us today besides Indonesia and Philippines. Isn't that awesome? But now, before we jump into the main session, I want to see the fact with my own two eyes. Can you guys who come from Myanmar, Malaysia, and Thailand, please raise your hands? Awesome, there are actually a lot of you. Okay, next. Can those who come from Singapore, India, and Pakistan raise your hand, please? Okay, cool. Next. Those who came from Aljazair and Sudan, please raise your hand. Then, last but not least, how about those who come from Cambodia or Bhutan or Iran? Please raise your hands. Okay, there are actually so many of you. That's so cool. I could see that you all are fired up right now. And so let's jump into our main session. The first team that will start our session came from the neighborhood country, which is Philippines. So please welcome Joyce Ann Filacota of Early Childhood Education Program and Sheena Ira Kamilet of Technology and Livelihood Education Program.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you to all.
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. I will be sharing my screen.
Hello guys, how are you doing?
I will be sharing my screen.
Okay, so before you start, I'll explain the rules one more time. You guys got 15 minutes to explain the material, and the time starts from now.
Thank you so much. Good morning to the students and educators from Universitas Brawijaya, Tarlac Agricultural University, and other education institutions from the Southeast Asian region and beyond. I am Joyce Villacorta, second year Bachelor of Early Childhood Education student from Tarlac Agricultural University College of Education.
Hello, I am Sheena Ira Kamilet, first year Bachelor of Technology and Livelihood Education student from the same university.
And today, we shall explore the role of our generation in advancing education and innovation on our side of world. We will also share about our perspective about the contemporary world. So we all know that Dr. Jose Rizal, the Philippines' national hero, believed that youth is the hope of our nation. That means that we are more capable of doing a lot of things, including changing our society for the better. We have a question here. Can today's youth still kindle hope? How? You may engage with us and our spectators from around the world in the chat box. Okay. But of course we will, and still are the hope of tomorrow. So here are the points we shall be talking about. First, needs of youth today, importance of youth in the society, and the role of youth in the advancement of global society. So Miss Sheena Ira will share her knowledge about the needs of youth today. Sheena.
Thank you, Ms. Joy. So there are many needs of young people today. But for now, we will talk about the three of their most important needs. So next, in the Sustainable Development Goals, the number 4 focuses on quality of education. This SDG aspires for inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Why do we need a good quality of education? So education is very important as it will give us the knowledge and hone our skill to pursue our passion. We need to be productive. With each passing day, we discover many things because of education. Education empowers their knowledge so that in the future we will be prepared in any situation we encounter. Since I started studying, I knew that the importance of education. We young people need a good quality of education to maximize our potential and become assets in our respective communities. We have significant role to play in the society. We can be the change and inspire progress in our society. Next, we also have issues concerning gender equality, which is Sustainable Development Goal number 5. For most of these is gender disparities. Women and members of LGBTQ sector are the receiving end of inequity. There is so much to do to close to the gap when it comes to salary and opportunities. Men are always prioritized for leadership position. There is inequality in access to participation in economic structure and also education. Others are just relegated to the sidelines. Fortunately, this is already changing. Next one is violence against women and girls is human rights violation. And the immediate and long-term physical, sexual, mental consequences for women and girls can be devastating, including death. Violence negatively affects women's general well-being, prevents women from fully participating in society. It impacts their family, their community, and the country at large. It has tremendous cost from greater strains on health to legal expenses and losses in productivity. Early and forced marriage violates a range of girls' human rights, including the rights to live free from violence and exploitation, to education, equality, non-discrimination, to participate in decisions that affect them, to access the highest attainable standard of health, including sexual and reproductive health. The impact of child, early, and forced marriage on the realization and enjoyment of girls' and women's rights can be wide-ranging. It can imply significant age and power differential between a bride and her spouse, which is undermine the agency and autonomy of girls and young women. In this context, girls and young women often face physical, psychological, economic, and sexual violence. Women and girls in situation of child and forced marriage may experience condition inside a marriage which meet international legal definitions of slavery and slavery-like practices, including servile marriage, sexual slavery, child servitude, and child trafficking. Um, as a representative of youth, specifically young women, I support Sustainable Development Goal number 5: eliminate violence against women and girls' lives, early and forced marriage, and securing equal participation and opportunity is a must. We all have the ability to contribute to the advancement of global society. Let's imagine if women are still not given equal rights in the field of education. How can we share our knowledge if we are not given the chance to participate in any activity in the academe? Let's aim to achieve gender equality by ending all forms of discrimination, violence, and any harmful practices against women and girls in the public and private spheres. The next and the last one is the good health and well-being. Sustainable Development Goal number 3 ensures healthy lives and promotes well-being for all at all ages. Youth need good health and well-being. How can we contribute to the global advancement if our health is compromised? Teenagers with strong mental well-being are able to manage their emotion and enjoy positive relationship with friends and family. To achieve good health and well-being, we must address the core determinants of health and well-being, which includes socioeconomic factors such as education, income, and gender.
Thank you so much, Miss Sheena. So next, we will explain about the importance of youth in the society. So what is the importance of youth in the society? Youth are not just the backbone of social structure. We are also according to recent figures from United Nations, there are 1.2 billion young people aged 15 to 24 years old, accounting for 16% of the global population. By 2030, the target date for the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, that make up the 2030 agenda, the number of youth is projected to have grown by 15% to nearly 1.3 billion. This proves that the youth has enormous potential to shape the future. We can do many things to help our society. For example, we can further environmental political participation, especially in the advent of 2022 presidential politics election. So, what is the role of youth in the advancement of global society? First, we should renew our collaboration with other people in doing programs that help our fellow citizens and avoid poverty. So this activity was implemented by the student of College of Education, Interlock Agricultural University, through the help and guidance of our professor, Dr. Christine N. Ferrer. Next, we should refresh our environment by planting trees, cleaning our surroundings, and many more. And also, we should maintain love and care for our nature. We should refresh our environment by planting trees, as I mentioned. Furthermore, there are many other roles of youth in the society. We are like a leading character in the movie. Youth also need to renew and refresh and maintain the current status of our society, including leadership, innovation, and skills. We are the leaders and the role models. As Ms. Sheena mentioned, through education, the youth could strive and create new innovations and learn new skills. We are expected to take the technological sector, education, politics, peace and development, to the next level. And also, the innovative potential of young people as combined with the power of technology is already proving to be a powerful force on the road of the next generation.
Youth symbolizes hope indeed. They can bring much needed change to the society and the international community. The youth of nation symbolizes the drive and will do more, and that is why everything that is used espoused generates economic and social dynamics. The motivation and hunger for success is something that cannot be explained, but this is exactly what makes youth so special and important.
So this is our challenge to the youth of the Asian world. Are you just going to sit and wait or take a much engaged role in powering up sustainable future? But only you can make the crucial decision. And also to the organizers, thank you for giving us an opportunity to share our thoughts. To our dearest spectators, we are grateful for your enthusiasm. Mabuhay from Philippines.
Okay, please give them a round of applause, everybody. Interesting. Thank you for the wonderful presentation, Joyce and Sheena. Okay, calm down, everyone. I know you want to speak out, but first, let's hop into the next team that came from Universitas Brawijaya. We've got two speakers as well, just like the previous team. Please welcome Kaila Mesha Drinadi of Educational Administration Program and Dian Syafitri of Taxation Program. Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
We're good. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Are you guys ready for the presentation?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
ready for it.
Okay, good. So, just the same as the previous team, you got 15 minutes to present your material, and the time starts from now.
Okay, thank you, Ate. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope all of you are in a good condition and mood. It's such a great pleasure for us to have this opportunity. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who's already joined this Asian Student Forum. And also, I want to say thank you to Joyce and Sheena for it's a great presentation and topic for our discussion today. And now we will talk about the role of youth in gender stereotypes and the role of women in education. But first, let me introduce myself and my mate. My name is Dian Syafitri, and my partner, Kaila Mesha Drinardi, will be presenting our topic that are related to our discussion today. To Kaila, you can start the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Dian. Before we talk about our topic today, it's better for us to know the concept, the role of youth. What is the role of youth? The role of youth really means their contribution in realizing the ideals of the nation and state. Many people still think youth may react by unleashing risky or harmful behavior against themselves or society, but they are, in fact, important assets for the economic, political, and social life of their communities. Without our realization, youth are actually the one who's holding the future of the countries and also the world. Next. Why is the role of youth needed? The role of youth is really important in education because education is central to improvement and development of the lives of young people globally, and as such has been identified as priority area in internationally agreed development goals, including the World Program of Action for Youth and Millennium Development Goals.
as the part of youth, we also have to build up our motivation to learn, to change, to bring the new ideas, inventions, and most importantly, a better environment for our community. Because without the urge, without the desire that we create by ourselves, the role of youth wouldn't be like we have now. Next. What does gender stereotypes actually mean? Gender stereotypes reflect the primary importance we attach to task performance when judging men and to social relationships when considering women. Assertiveness and performance are seen as indicators of greater agency in men, and warmth and care for others are viewed as signs greater community in women. Usually, the social issues in the form conflicts and tensions at some viewpoints and attitudes. In short, the discrimination is the rejection of the desired qualities and right of an individual. Next.
Okay, thank you, Kyla, for the introduction. So why women? Why we choose women rather than men in this discussion? It's because first, women have a lack of chances in education, which is proved by the result of some research in some countries that the number of acceptance in university for women is lower than men. And the second reason is the consequences of patriarchy social system that exists in the society and yet create gender inequality. And lastly, most of the sexual harassment and domestic violence that happen these days is happen to women and giving them this severe mental issues, or in the worst case, they end their life and do suicide. We're not bluntly bring up the reasons without any evidence. There are some research that support us, like the reports by the Ministry of Internal Affairs. They told us that every year, 213,000 adult women in France become victims of beatings and or sexual violence by the current or former life partners. And the other hand, General Assembly meeting that held in 2020 dedicated to the anniversary of the World Conference of Women also told us domestic violence against women is one of the most widespread human rights violations in the world. Next. Gender stereotypes also have a danger, and the danger of stereotypes present in education is not only in leading to violence and humiliation of women in educational institution. So here we have some of the negative impact of gender stereotypes in education. Gender inequality in higher education manifests itself in different ways in connections with various aspects, even in developed countries. And some of the negative impact that we have here are: first, women have an equal with men access to education. Women are slightly less successful in education experience than men. And the last one, women have almost no advantage in the use of higher education outcomes in comparison with men. There are still some of the manifestations of gender stereotype near us that we can easily find in developing countries. In the access to education for women, it's still lower due to primarily psychological reasons or stereotype perceptions. And so the outcome that coming through this problem, this gender stereotypes, is women has limit in their ability to learn or to be hired by companies. And to fix this problem, we couldn't only fix the laws, we couldn't only fix what's happened in nowadays, but we have to fix the people's belief too. Next.
Apart from being negative about gender stereotypes in education, what we will get if there is no gender stereotypes in education? First, gender equality prevents violence against women and girls. The four main drivers of violence against women are condoning violence against women, men's controlled decision-making and limits to women's independence, rigid gender roles and stereotypes, and male relationships that emphasize aggression and disrespect towards women. So the best way to prevent violence against women is to promote gender equality. And then gender equality is good for the economy or increase the economic growth. Furthermore, gender equality is a human right. And then the last one, gender equality makes our communities safer and healthier. Next. Frequent problems and recommendations. So what is frequent problem? The frequent problem about gender stereotypes is statement that states women are not smart or not adapted to learning. Moreover, women who heard this constantly will begin to believe it. Therefore, the division of the domestic work can be the first step towards real changes in gender roles, require appropriate support in changing gender stereotypes. Next. Reform can be realized by the following two approaches. The first one, changing gender attitudes by public discussion, conferences, information, and debate to influence the behavior of people. In this situation, it is important to bring evidence-based data not only about sex and gender, but also on the contribution of gender equality in socio-economic prosperity of the country. And the second one, changing behavior by non-discriminatory regulation and punishment for discrimination, and thus influence of the gender stereotypes. One thing that can be done is to change the mindset of women themselves and men. Next.
Okay, now we're moving on, and here is one of the real movement of youth near us that has been done for several years. We're going to see the concrete movement of the role of youth in education. So we already had an interview with one of the Girl Up Brawijaya staff, Amira Husnunisa, who served as the head of External Relations Department of Girl Brawijaya Group. Next. So from the interview, we can sum up that Girl Up Brawijaya is an organization who cooperates with the United Nations Foundation that focuses on encouraging women empowerment and increasing gender equality. Next. And what is the reasons Girl Up Brawijaya exists? So Girl Up Brawijaya exists because of the gender inequality that still exists in the university, and the assumptions about women's positions are lower than men. And the other reasons we have here is sexual harassment that often occurs against women is one of the reasons why Girl Up Brawijaya was born. Next. And so Girl Up Brawijaya didn't come to our communities without purpose. So the main purposes of Girl Up Brawijaya itself is to build an inclusive environment for everyone, create activities in local scope, but keep up with global conditions, and establish a safe place for every woman.
Okay, this is the one of the form of the activity program carried out by Girl Up Brawijaya. Hashtag Stop Violence Against Women is the activity from the Vision Program and even Girl Up Brawijaya. This activity is talk about how women are sometimes considered as something inferior. So they are vulnerable to domestic violence, sexual violence, and cyberbullying. Therefore, this campaign aimed to eliminate cases of violence against women. Next. And the second one is Bulamnes. Bulamnes is the activity from Division of Program and Event Girl Up Brawijaya. Bulamnes is a campaign and educational content that raises the claim of gender bias, which is a condition that favors or is detrimental to one side. The purpose of this activity is to invite the wider community to slowly eliminate gender bias. Next. Okay, that's all from us. We hope our material can enlighten all of you who are attending this forum. Thank you for your attention, and now we please the moderator to lead the next session. If you have any feedback, opinion, or personal reflection regarding to our topic for our presentation, you can share it with us in the next session.
Thank you a lot, Kyla and Dian, for the presentation. What a good presentation. Please give them a round of applause, everybody. Okay, so now, before we move on to the main session, which is the discussion, the peak of this event, I want to ask you all, are you guys still excited and fired up? Because I see the chat box and it's all full of new feedbacks. Okay, good. I'm guessing you are still as fired up as the beginning of today's session. As I mentioned before, this forum is a big chance for all of you, all of us, to think out loud about our theme. So, does anybody have any other ideas, opinion, argument, suggestion, personal reflection, or maybe even a question? And now, before I forget, we expect every country that participates in this forum to have at least one respondent to speak their mind out loud. Therefore, please raise your hand and I'll choose your turn to talk one after another.
Gusto ko ng sa atong babae.
Good, we got one person. It's Reader Rifki. Do you have anything to say?
Okay, thank you to the moderator. Before I give my opinion, I want to say thank you for all of the speakers for bringing a great presentation for this event. Regarding the presentation from Kayla Indian, I will give my opinions about the gender stereotypes. In the frequent problems about gender stereotypes, there is a statement like women is not smart and not adapted to learning. And I think this is one of example of the negative stereotypes. I mean, this will automatically contain a negative assessment called prejudice, because as far as I know, prejudice often destroy the victim's self-concept because negative evaluation, such as the view that women are inferior to men, can have an impact on low confidence, courage, and a sense of self-worth. And this can hinder the educational goals, because one of the educational goals in Indonesia is to develop capabilities and shape the character and civilization of a dignified nation in order to educate the nation lives. Then how can we achieve these educational goals if our sense of courage and self-confidence is decreases? Therefore, I think that we all must be aware about this problem. And one of the examples of the role of youth that is bring by Kayla and Dian, namely Grow Up Brawijaya, is the right movement to overcome this problem. I think that's all from me. I will give back to the moderator. Thanks very much.
Thank you for speaking up, Reader Rifki. Okay, so I see someone from the chat box. It's our friends from Malaysia, Kairi and Azrin. I see you say, I want to go to the university to pursue computer science. And you also said something about the presentation. Please speak it out loud. Okay, so let's move on to the next respondent. It's Prince Juriel Infante Delos from Philippines. Please pick up your mind.
Yes po. Can you repeat?
bagong palinitong ano eh. Walang katalo dun ah.
Yes, ma'am. Since the English period, pre-independence period. Hello, ma'am.
Okay, we got some more raise their hand. Ricky, please speak out your mind. Do you have any question, ideas, or maybe any other opinion?
I am from India.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. My name is Sulan from Indonesia. I want to ask a question to Kayla and Dian. In your opinion, guys, how do you change the old-fashioned stereotype of society that women don't need higher education? Because in the end, women will return to the kitchen. In fact, women who are highly educated will be able to educate their children to become a good generation that is useful for the nation. Thank you.
Gimana? Iya dong, lompat-lompat.
Okay, we're gonna hold your question. So if there are any question, please raise your hands. We're gonna answer it one by one after that.
Sa India ko no, still there are some
Irene, please speak up your mind. Do you have any question, maybe personal reflection?
I cannot open my video currently as I'm in an inappropriate retirement. But I have a question. What are we actually discussing currently?
What's your question?
ayup to doon. Nagharap.
Okay, so guys, one of us got confused about what we were talking about today. Do you, any of you want to answer for him? Please just raise your hands. It's your time to speak up your mind because it's our forum. It's the youth forum and we're part of it. So just speak up.
Miss Moderator, I think there's some question in the chat.
Okay, so there's one question. It's from Fahrin Anjum. Question. We all know that the education system today is like the factories producing the demons, and hence we all ranking the quality education. So my question is, how can we bring in light the quality education from the ground level, from early schooling or parents teacher meeting to the higher level? It's an open question, so all of you are allowed to answer, not only the presenter. Prince, so you finally raised your hand. Do you have anything to speak up, please?
Yes, please. I'm Prince Judel de los Reyes from Philippines, from CBSUA Calabanga, and I can't be able to open my camera right now because I'm in inconvenient place. However, I would like to share my opinion with and insights with regards to the presenter. We should educate ourselves and respect individualities, especially when it comes to gender stereotyping. We should consider those as an opportunity and chance and prove to the world that we can change this dilemma and by harmony, unity, and acceptance. Thank you.
April, Judy, and
Okay, that's a really good opinion. I really appreciate that.
Okay.
Reinhard Castaneda, do you have anything to say?
Yes. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we could hear you just clearly.
Oh, sorry. Hello, can you hear me, guys? Okay. Here's my opinion for all the issues that we're facing, or rather, here's my answer for the question in which we want to have quality education from the ground level. There is such principle being taught to us right now, and I think it is being proliferated in every society right now, which is inclusion. So it means to say that if you're coming up with a curriculum, it should include everyone, including whether they're women, men, neurotypical or neurodiverse. So what we're doing right now is that we are all, aside from considering the gender, considering the status of the person, what we are doing right now is we are also including those people whom we think have special needs, special conditions, and I think one of the key there for having inclusion being to be proliferated in the curriculum of every school is that uh, it should be accessible to everyone. So as much as possible, we should make education free, and with that, we can also work on making the quality of education much stronger more and more suitable for every individual. That's it.
Okay, thank you for speaking up your opinion on the question.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much too.
I found one question that's pretty similar to the previous question. Do gender stereotypes seems to be more offensive or incorrectly portrayed to females or males, or both equally? Does any of you want to answer that? Because it's pretty much similar to the previous question.
Ma.
Okay, so I found one opinion that's pretty interesting for me. It's from Sri Jayanti Sukma from Indonesia. She said, feminists has already struggled from one century ago. What are make gender equality haven't been done? Is it because of the man or the women or itself not support each other and why? It's pretty interesting for me. So please, for Sri Jayanti, can you please pick up your mind?
Okay, thank you for moderator before. I am from Madura Institute, so I will give my opinion about about gender equality exactly. And in Madura itself, especially in my society, many women that not support each other. It means that what is that gender equality? It's like if the woman itself not support each other, and for and for the what is that for the man itself, the man will be say that if women don't go out from the nature, don't what is that woman don't go out from its nature, that is the equipment of man that discriminate a woman or girl exactly. In my perception, that this problem, I think this problem will be not have done because man or woman or their their perception, it's only about themselves. It's not about ours, but she or he just only think about their self. So that when we as a woman that wanna become a feminist, it means we have to what is that support each other. That's because of the environment that not support us, and maybe from the host or from the presenter that before have explained about the gender equality that can feedback my perception or answer my question in text box.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. Now we have the answer from the previous question. And Daniel gonna answer the question. So to Kyla, please speak up.
Thank you. So now we want to answer the question, what can we do to change the gender stereotypes? As a women, we have to know our quality. We have to respect each other. We should be brave to show our quality and capacity. And we have to understand that we are worth and importance. Next, Diane will be speaking.
Okay, so I will add some answers to related to Kyla's answer. So like what we already served in our presentation, that the things that we should fix is the people's belief or people mindset. We as the youths should spread awareness from the basic, and we should increase in the understanding why people should see women with respect. And the other things that we can do is opening the gate for the women to get their higher education. And why women should get higher education? Actually, it's a basic value that we should know, because education is basically it's a part of our of as a part of what is it of our human right, and we get it since we were born, and that and when we get it from when we were born, I think it's important for us to giving them the chance too, and yeah, with that, if we had that mindset, we already know the basics why we can build we can break the stereotypes that exist in society right now. And maybe from from the Philippines, Joyce and Sheena wants to add more answers to these questions.
Okay, thank you, Dian and Carla, for the answer. Guys, I see so many interesting opinions, suggestion, and even question in the chat box. And as I've said before, this is an open forum, so please turn on your mic, raise your hand, and then turn on your mic, and please pick it up. It's a really good question. You got really, really good opinion there, but please pick it up.
Hi, thank you so much for letting me to mute myself. So I have some question for you all guys to if you can answer it basically. So maybe you guys ever heard about patriarchy and what guys you have an opinion about the situation? Because I think as a woman, either man has their own talent, right? So maybe you guys have your own opinion about this patriarchy on maybe our situation like this. Thank you so much.
Okay, she'll leave you from Myanmar. Please speak up and open your mic.
Yeah, thank you for all the presenters for giving up the great presentations. In our country, Myanmar, gender equality is very sensitive topic, not for women, but for men. In my opinion, Myanmar society is still dominated by patriarchal society, and feminists are struggling to fight those situations. Men stay influenced by toxic masculinity. When we say gender equality, men thinks that women wants to be privileged. So I think that we need to teach children gender equality from basic education. And as we didn't get equality in our classroom, is there any idea to educate those uneducated men in Myanmar?
Joyce and Sheena, do you have any opinion regarding the question and previous stated opinion?
Yes, in my opinion, as they as about the discrimination about women in education, I believe as a woman, if we want to be recognized, we must do our part. We must study diligently and perform to the best of our abilities. We should empower one another. Youth are the hope of our nation. So as a youth, we must do our part and empower each other.
Yes, in addition, as a youth, we are the one who are responsible. Okay, I am audible. So, as a youth, um, we are the one who are responsible in creating and the solution in this problem. We, women and men, should empower each other and work together. Thank you.
Go ahead, Pak. You could speak up your mic.
Hello, I would also like to add about the gender stereotyping that in order for us to have a a world to live in, we should respect people regardless of the gender that they have or the identity that they have, in order for in order for have to create a safer place. And also we should respect each qualities regardless of what society's gender stereotypes and expectations are. That would be all.
Okay, thank you for speaking up. Next, Pak Solihin, you could go ahead and speak up your mind.
Thank you very much for the moderator. Because you know that men and women, there is no difference, all the same, okay, actually. And as we know these times, that women has a good skill, especially for the academic and for the others. And as you know, many leaders from the countries, some of them are women. And it signs that women has the same or equal with men's for the positions of positions in the country or the others. Okay, so the most importance about women is about skill first. Okay, so there is no, a woman must be the second of the man. Okay, but as I know, women has important role, and if you know in the Muslim that women has what is it about the gate of the religion, so it has important role to both to develop the country, to both all the sectors in the country. Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you, Pak Solihin, for the opinion. Next, we have Christina Morbukola. Please unmute your mic and then speak up.
Yes, so good morning everyone. I am Christine Amor Bocala from the Philippines. Okay, so regarding my opinion about gender stereotyping, yeah, I have seen comments or replies in the chat that most discrimination are 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 given to women. Mostly being discriminated are women. So my opinion regarding with that problem is that still as women being discriminated, we should still be able to be responsible enough to neglect discriminations, neglect negative opinions, negative insights of other people, and be able to uplift ourselves, our uplift women, so that this problem will be stopped, and in order for in order for them to see that women can be a great part and have a great role in our community, in our homes, and for the future of our country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for speaking up. Next, we have Jeremiah from Philippines. Please speak up your mind.
So good day everyone. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. So I would just like to raise the topic about the poverty of every country in the world, where it hinders um, the success of the youth. So those areas who have poor education hinder the future of the youth, and this should be raised in this discussion. Thank you. Not only gender equality and stuff.
That's a really interesting one. Next, we have Kimberly. Please speak up your mind.
So good day everyone. I am Kimberly Diita from Philippines, and I've heard that we have discussed about gender inequality and stereotyping, and we connect these topics to school and education. However, I also believe that our parents, each of our parents must have the obligation to educate their children. Say for example, if a parent has a male child, one must educate his or her child to respect women, and same goes through with women, with parents who have a female children or child. So in conclusion, um, I believe that we should not depend on school alone to educate our children, but as parents, we also must obligate ourselves and feel the pressure to ourselves to have that responsibility to educate our children.
It's a really good one.
That's all. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for speaking up your opinion. Actually, we have so many opinions and questions in the chat box. We have Patricia Nopoko, we have Chundan Kundu, Eunice Ananda, and many, many more. So can you guys please speak it up instead of writing it in the chat box? Okay, Della Presto, anything to say?
Hello, you can hear me ba?
I could hear you just fine.
Yeah, we talk about gender equality. So for me, it's not about the men and women. And being part of the LGBT community, we know that in Asia, we have a limited rights compared to other countries. And being part of your generation, we need to increase access to justice and protection for LGBTQ plus people around the world. And also developing need to track and ultimately change discriminatory law, especially in politics and also acceptance, including the school and workplace. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for speaking up. Can I have please Eunice Ananda Purba because they have a really good question also with opinion.
Thank you, moderator, for the time to ask me to give my opinion about gender equality and education. I want to tell about, as we know, there are still people who underestimate women who are highly educated. They do not agree that women can pursue higher education. Therefore, I would like to ask, as a young generation, what can we do to convince the public to make them aware of women and higher education? And second issues, I want to ask you about which one comes first. Will women's higher education address this issue of gender discrimination, or gender equality first and then tackle the problem of education? But I mean to talk about women education. Thank you. Thank you.
So we have Bapak Taufik. Yes.
Okay, I have thank you, moderator. I have a suggestion for your forum, for your event. So I would like, as a moderator, there's so many topics to discuss. So next time, maybe next year, I would like host make the forum into groups or into breakout rooms so we can choose what topic that we would like to discuss. Because if we talk about this, there's so many things to talk. We talk about this, gender equity, and the next time there's someone talking about poverty. So what should we discuss? Is it better to separate your interests into different rooms? Okay, that's all my comment for this. But actually, this is nice forum, and there's a lot of interest to the youth because I'm not youth anymore. So I think that's it for me because I'm not youth anymore. So I will give it a chance to you, all of the youth from every countries to talk. But next time it's better to separate into topics. So we can choose what topic we would like to talk in, and we can chat not only in the speaker because the audio may be broken or something like that. Thank you, moderator.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for the suggestion. Now, Indonesia, she's raising her hands. Can you please unmute yourself and talk?
At some point for one second that why we should break the old stereotype that women don't need higher education because in the end women will return to the housewife is not only taking care of the house but has a heavier that requires a woman to study. This knowledge will be useful to accompany their children to adulthood by providing the best education. Because as we know, that the first education for a child is from their family or from their mother. So the role of the mother is very important here. Every mother wants to have smart and noble children. Educating, raising, and by following the times is not easy thing. Are required to provide good and correct education to children, making children the next generation of equality. Okay, maybe that's all my opinion for Wolan session.
Thank you so much for speaking it up. Now we have Shinsa Rumayanti. Please speak up your mind.
Okay. Thank you for all the speaker that talk about gender equality and gender stereotyping are one of the problems that we also know happening around us. So what we should do for that, we must care of what happened in this situation now. Then the opportunities to do for better choices is for all gender. The important one is we should keep our mindset, our awareness about gender, because all gender is no difference to do what they want, and it's so in education. Women have choice to get higher education, to be part of our good education and as an educator. And the last, we know that many places, many community, including in educational institution, that always to speak about gender equality. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Ricky Zarna. Please turn on your mic and speak it up.
Yes, I give some information about gender equality. So for me, that gender equality for me is we have different perspective in our own. So all we need to do is respect each other and no discrimination because it can affect in our society. And also, if we all know that people are discriminating, we need getting some action regarding to those issues. And thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking up your opinion. I found one opinion and a question that's pretty interesting. It's one from Michael Belgisa and June Solis. The first question is, until how far do you think is equal for gender inequality among genders? And the second one is, why does female stereotyping tend to be noticed and male stereotyping tend to be ignored? So do you guys have any opinion regarding that? And please do those who ask, raise your hand and then speak it up. It's still mute. Can you please unmute yourself and then talk it out?
Yes, hello. Good day to each and everyone. I'm Michael, and I'm here in Bangkok, Thailand. As for my question is, we are defining the inequality of gender. In what aspect or in how far do you think to make it relevantly equal.
Okay, do you guys want, any of you want to answer it? Because it's not only about our topic, it's also about the general topic as well. Maybe Joyce or Sheena or maybe Kyla or Dian want to answer. Or maybe from the participant as well.
Okay, so Mati. So now I will answer the questions. Until how far do you think is equal for gender inequality among genders? It's basically my personal opinion about this. How do I judge the equality or the equality, like how I see equality itself? So I personally think the equality is could be achieved when women, especially in this discussion, we talk about women, like, and for me personally, when women could get to higher educations and get the same chances in a workspace, like, because there's a lot of cases in the whole world that we found out that women is they pay more, they get paid more lower than the man because they think women has limit ability to do some work like that. And so I think, yeah, when they could get the when they get the high way when they get the chances to go to the higher educations and could go to work in workspace, like they have the freedom to choose what they want to do. It's basically the equality for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dian, for the explanation. Next, we have Leah Juarez because she's unmuting herself, so I think she wanna speak up. It's your time.
Yes. As Miss mentioned earlier, that if women attain a higher education, maybe gender equality will solve,
because varicose.
Because some of us think that there's no gender equality because some of women are underestimated. But in my opinion, we could change that mindset if we women could do our part. Maybe we could join in different program to acknowledge our insights or our skills or talents, enable for us women could strive in many aspects, because all things will start on ourselves. As a youth and woman, we could change our future through our hands. Do you agree, Miss Moderator?
Thank you so much, Joyce, for answering and then adding more opinion to it.
Yes, it was a great reply coming from Miss Joyce and Miss Diane. So, with regards to this, there are contributing factors why there is inequality when it comes to gender, not only through education or employment, but to all other aspects. The contributing factors in each country depends on their religious belief, culture, and tradition, as well as politics and government. So just like Jean has specifically remarked that it starts on your own. So you need to start by yourself to be a reflection of how you wanted to be recognized. That is very, very important. It is very important that you show that you can do. It is reflecting on you and your personality. So because it is hard to change in a split of second or a year or two, because there are intervening factors. Like I said, there are a lot of contributors when it comes to inequality, and you cannot just change them. We had this already for about how many decades, this issue, how many decades that it was not resolved. So meaning it can be resolved or it cannot be. So the best thing to do is start with ourselves, as Joyce has said. It is very important to be a role model and reflect it to others. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, so it was a really interesting discussion we have. Now I'm going to conclude the discussion. The youth is the hub of our nation. The youth needs a qualified education, so we'll be properly prepared for our future. Gender equality to give all gender the same chances and opportunities, good health and well-being. The importance of youth in the society is because the youth is the backbone of the nation, the agent of changes, and the developer of the society future. Why is it needed? Because the youth is the agent of change, as I mentioned before. But before we could reach that, we need the gender stereotype to be gone, because it really was restrict both genders or all genders to move. And why women? Because women were given less chances in education, less opportunity to be successful, must often get harassed, and many more. Why gender equality is needed? Because gender equality prevents violence, because it's human right, makes communities safer and healthier, and also could increase nations' growth. If you want a successful youth generation, stereotype must be broken and gender equality needs to be intensified. So can you guys please give a big round of applause for everybody that speak up their mind today? I can't believe that we've already at the end of the session for today's event. What an amazing discussion we have today. So much new knowledge and point of views, which was really interesting and astonishing. Lots of thank yous to all the speakers and participants for today's session. Let us all be guided by all the things we have learned and heard throughout the conference and be able to see and influence our future. Once again, thank you so much for attending today's event. We're so sorry if there are any mistakes or technical difficulties and other unfortunate things. I'm Aditya Chaya Prawita Wulan. I'll see you on the next chance. Bye everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you very
Bye,
much.
thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Salamat.
Bye, everyone.
Salamat.
For joining us.
Salamat.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye everyone. Thank you. Salamat.
Maraming
Bye.
salamat.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
I know a galaxy and I could take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we flew into heaven where the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining slowly alive. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight. You're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You one of the greatest, ain't no debating on it.
Then, thank you guys.
Nakabukas na ko yung ano.
Participating.
Ang para-pararan sa mga kanya.
Moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. So you can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. So you can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. My love is like a rocket, watch it blast off. And I'm feeling so electric, down so awesome. And even if I wanted to, I can't stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. My love is like a rocket, watch it blast off. And I'm feeling so electric, down my ass off. And even if I wanted to, I can't stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. You can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. You can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high, bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high, bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room happiness into you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, 'cause